a lot of his work, his teachings, and he said that between the client and the therapist, the problem sat like a hot pan. And the challenge is for the therapist not to take hold of the handle. Because the moment the therapist has the handle, it leaves the client with nothing to hold. And he also said that any attempt at explaining what you're doing is a therapeutic mistake. And I'll demonstrate why. So the client comes in, they're on the map, yeah? And we're all card-carrying professionals, and we've all studied with this, and as a professional, we have to give you an explanation, right? That's what your governing bodies tell you. Now here's the presenting problem. Your client in your session has left their map. Wow, well done. They're out there. And now you explain what you've done. Oops. That's why, quite often, I don't give an explanation. So if you ask a question and you didn't quite get the answer, you got the answer. The answer was, I'm not giving you an answer, which will cause more confusion. Now, if you're out here long enough, confusion will fill this void. So no amount of explaining will ever put you back there. Understanding is the biggest problem human beings have manufactured in the last century. And what I mean in that is the understanding of the self. Because there are more people who will turn up with, I have low self-esteem. I have low self-worth. I said, no, you have been reading psychology books. Because if you care to pop outside and catch that rabbit just for 5 minutes and ask Mr. Rabbit or Ms. Rabbit or Mrs. Rabbit, depending on if Mr. Rabbit caught up with you yet, if you get a chance to chat to those rabbits out there in the wild and ask them about low self-esteem, low self-worth, how do they feel not quite getting the biggest carrot in the field? Yeah, they'll still look at you like you're crazy. Yeah, the only thing that impacts a human being are human beings. It's all us. It's an inside job. And the more you realize it's an inside job, and if you can keep your windscreen as clean as possible, your neurology will follow you. Life really does start getting easier. Yeah? But some of my best clients, my biggest breakthroughs, are the ones who complain about me. Said that was rubbish. I paid what? For what? You didn't do anything. Yeah? Was a fisherman years ago came and wanted to stop smoking. And I worked with him in a session, and he explained to me that he also worked with lifeboats, when people are drowning and stuff. And it's like some of the things he did, oh God, I felt like having a cigarette just listening to him. Yeah, it was like, oh, bless him. So about a week later, I bumped into him. And just as a matter of would happen, just happened to bump into him. And I said, oh, how are you doing? And he looked very sheepish. And I thought, problem? He says, well, he says, I'll have to be honest. When I left your place, I lit up a cigarette straight away. And I thought, what a load of rubbish.